Hello, this is Gavin Palmer with Hero Looking for Group, recording from the throne room, aka my washroom, as my teammate calls it in Pakistan. He's a very smart person. I am showing you this. I got to chat with Rami Rustam. He's trying to build something. Trying to help people start businesses, and he is a smart person. Um, but I showed him this kind of screenshot, and he liked this. He's the person who introduced me to Elliot Temple, and he enjoyed this. He thought that he had never seen anyone kind of condense the paths forward idea down into something as concise as this, creating opportunity for others to teach you. So that's what Pass Forward is all about, and that's what is missing throughout the world. A lot of people suffer, a lot of people make mistakes, and they aren't creating opportunities for other people to teach them. I what am I doing here? Well, I'll just go over my morning. So I woke up this morning. I had a dream, and basically the highlights of this dream, you could always pause, but the highlights is I have some doubt. I have a little doubt. Nako Bear gave me a guitar, and it's a pretty easy song. It's easy to play a little song where you just strum, but he has good words, uh, and I shared. Let's see. So let's go over to sorting myself out. I did a dream share. I also referenced kind of the song I think that I was playing or something like it. And I have self-doubt, and there's part of me that wants to be able to play as well as other people, and I feel bad if I can't do as good as they can do. But then I have to remind myself, it's like I've actually done some good work, and I can be proud of the ability to, or proud of the courage it takes to just play a guitar in front of other people. The only reason I can do these recordings is because I've been practicing recording myself and talking to myself for maybe close to a decade, at least since 2012. Yeah, so very long time. Anyways, I shared a dream, and sharing a dream is about information, and maybe it's the subconscious. It's parts of me that are trying to express themselves, trying to help me. But I believe dreams are really powerful. I've had a lot of dreams that are important to me that have shaped me. Maybe they taught me empathy, or maybe they taught me this idea that we can access information in a place that is kind of different from the waking reality, where we are, we only receive information based on our location in space-time. It's like, but the internet's powerful because it does allow us to kind of access more information in general. And I think some of you people are interested in this idea of sorting myself out. So I want to share some techniques. So this first technique was how to Trello board. So first of all, I have Gmail. I'm not going to show it. Maybe there's some secrets. There's people who might not want their information shared. But pay attention to the number of unread. I don't think it's good to have thousands of unread messages. It kind of represents a chaotic, unorganized life. That's something to work on. I just now started cleaning my room. Been getting rid of stuff. I could talk about that process, and I just now started this board, and inside of here I write down things that stand out to me, and maybe they're in some kind of order, but this would be maybe the one at the top. But I made these notes. So this is the learning process. I made these notes because I watched Elliot Temple's video. I didn't reference it, but he has a video on philosophy, and I took notes. And now that has moved into a sharing of notes in a way that is, let's see, if I go here, view replies, read more. So I'd like to go to the comment. Here we go. So I'm hoping to have a conversation with Tyler soon, and I hope it is recorded and it's worth sharing and it's valuable. And that intention is important. I hope it's valuable. I hope there can be learning and teaching that happens. But so this, I started out by, for example, saying, what can I do with my time? I took notes on Elliot Temple's video on his philosophy, his ideas. That has been updated, that process. I updated it and tried out I'm experimenting with a new process. And this one I wrote out timestamps with kind of my summaries. And I borrowed this process off of something I did that I just started today. I have my own Discord server, and I started a book notes channel. But for some time now, I've been creating notes on the books that I'm reading. And so you can see here, writing notes helps me do kinesthetic learning. I realized this is what I did in college. I mean, I got a degree in a topic that's hard, and I managed to do it. And I mean, to be honest, I wasn't great at it, and I think I even I did things I'm not proud of. I would say the one that I can speak about the most that I'm not proud of is I would memorize things, and I would not actually learn and understand things. So if I had to teach you something, I would recommend trying to understand the things that are valuable. And I know it's a hard question of what is valuable. So take good notes. Do kinesthetic learning that helps the brain remember. And I think you can do this whether you're reading fiction. You can do this if you're watching videos on YouTube. You can do this if you're reading books. Take notes. Try to learn how to organize them so that you can help the signal rise above the noise. Sometimes that signal is it is for you. Remember that? I think a lot of people write stuff and they read stuff that was basically written for them. And you shouldn't necessarily confuse it with being written for you. So, for example, let me just start off with this command click. So I do a table of contents, and I focus on things that are important to me. I'm using version control here. I could talk about version control. I think it's really important. But I've got history. So my first commit was the table of contents. My second commit was attribution to the original content, like the author. And my third was about organizational trust. So I can reference my notes. Other people can reference my notes. And that's my attempt to help signal rise above the noise. And it looks like if I go back to sorting myself out, and if I go to the chat saloon, I noticed, so Griswold Grimm, I don't know what to call him. He claims to be a crazy person or a somewhat crazy person. But he did timestamps in the comments, and I appreciate that. I think this is good. I think it's, first of all, I would say do it for yourself, and so you want to make sure you're helping the signal rise above the noise so that you can reference it later. Do it for yourself so that you can reference it later. You have to ask yourself, what are the things that were said that were important that you want to remember? Keyword important. I'm a technologist, a software engineer. Keyword import. What do you want to be able to import into your mind and remember? Keyword member. You want it to become a member of yourself later on in time. So, hope I'm not losing you. But I really appreciate this. I went through, and I watch these at 2x, and if they say something that was hard to understand, I'll slow it down. But the thing that was my favorite part was when I think Arnold is talking about In Praise of Folly by Erasmus. And so supposedly this book goes through every layer of society from the bottom to the top and talks about what people are doing but should be doing. And I find this really interesting. I've thought about doing stuff like this. He mentioned the king is responsible for many people and should try to make life as good as possible, but instead sacrifice its lives on the battlefield for selfish reasons. I would encourage everyone to try to be a good king. Um, like, really, there's this word Messiah, and Messiah, I think, means king, and I would encourage you to try to imagine yourself out into the future. Maybe you're 50 years old, and you are a good king, and try to set that as a goal. And if you're a female, a good queen. And then he mentions at the very top is the Pope, should be Jesus on earth willing to sacrifice himself similarly, but they never do this. So I would say try to be a king before you try to be a pope. And being a pope, so maybe you can shoot for being a pope whenever you're 60 years old or 70 years old. But I don't even think, like, sacrificing yourself, it's kind of a easy way out, in my opinion. It's a lot harder to be a king. But yeah, anyways, I appreciate what you did, Grum. I shared this book, and it has no like table of contents, and even the words are dense. And let's see. Yeah, Graham shared this crazy sentence, and the whole book is all these crazy sentences, and it's like, I wish Praise of Folly was better organized with a table of contents, which allows me to jump to each layer that Erasmus writes about. This is trying to allow the signal to rise above the noise. So I would claim that Erasmus wasn't good at this, or else his brain was just that good. So my brain is not great. I do better with notes that I can reference. And so, yeah, I would like to have some notes. And then even if I had a table of contents that kind of organized the information, even these sentences are just so hard to understand for me. They're kind of poetic, they're artistic, maybe they can be interpreted in many ways. It's hard for me to identify the signal and import it and make it useful in my life. So the person who shared this, I went seeking that person over in the Bridges of Meaning Discord server, and I said, is Arthur from the recent PVK video? And it's like, well, and I showed an example of me, creating my own notes and just trying to encourage people to do the same. When you read books and you find value in them, please, create notes for yourself and then try to make them available to other people, so that I don't want to have to go through that entire book, The Praise of Folly, in order to extract the signal from what I think is noise, and that's subjective. Some people really appreciate those words. I'm pretty sure that Griswold Groom appreciates them. So let's see. Anything else? I could give you a peek at the books I read on Kindle. And yeah, that's basically it. I have a Discord server for you to be able to tell me about mistakes I'm making. You can send me direct messages. You can participate. You can help me. This is just the pass forward. This is me trying to do this pass forward idea. Like, this is a really important idea. Creating opportunity for others to teach you. It's a recognition that you're human. You make mistakes, and then you're actually trying to do something to become a better person. Like, if you want to be the king when you're 50 years old, and I'm only 35, if you want to be the king, at that age, 35, that's how old you have to be president of the United States. So maybe that's why I feel confident about speaking more, because I'm 35 years old now. I theoretically am old enough. I'm not qualified to be president of the United States. So. But yeah, if you want to be king when you're 50 years old, you have to be doing this. And everybody needs to be trying to be that king, that queen who is, as I put it, go back to my notes, go back, because I can't even recall. I'd rather just tell you how I put it when I was thinking about it, because I'm trying to live in the moment, not the past. I'm trying not to live in the future. That's kind of a practice I do sometimes. But yeah, the king is responsible for many people and should try to make life as good as possible. But yeah, this part. So that's what the king and the queen should be doing. And I would encourage everyone to try to do that. And I think Paths Forward, trying to create that opportunity for people to help you learn, that's how you do it. And I'm just sharing some tools that I'm aware of. The big tool, the finale, the big tool, I think eventually we're going to have to talk about the election system. We have to talk about the 2020 elections and all the elections before that. And we have to talk about it from the perspective of being able to receive feedback from large groups of people in order to recognize the signal from the noise. And the signal, it may be a candidate that is able to, that has been working at becoming a king for years. And we could talk about that. There is a technology that is emerging which would allow us to do that, to really select, to be very selective about who becomes the president, and it could be trusted. It could be a trusted system. And I actually don't even like the president. I don't not the person, but the position. I think you have more power outside of government. All right, I'm rambling, and I appreciate your attention. Apologies if I wasted some of your attention. Have a good one.